your family's restaurant is so iconic for Tampa and Ybor City. When people think of Ybor, they really do. They think of the Columbia restaurant. It's such an iconic piece of our history.
I hope so, and I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
It's such a large restaurant, too. How many people can you fit in there for dinner?
So it originally started as a small corner cafe, and now we are a whole city block. We've got 15 dining rooms, and we have 1,700 seats.
1,700 seats. And I'm sure there's been times where you've been at capacity.
Absolutely. More times than you probably would believe.
That is insane. So it started off as a cafe, and we were talking before the show, it actually really started off as a saloon across the street. So can you tell that story?
Yes. So my great-great-grandfather, when he came from Havana at the turn of the century, he began working at the Florida Brewery right down the street. Beautiful building that's still there. And at that time, they were helping people open saloons so they could help them sell their beer. It's ingenious. And so in 1903, which we didn't find out till our 100th anniversary, he opened the Columbia Saloon.
That's awesome. And then expanded from there, right? So you moved across the street and it started off as a little cafe, soup, salad, sandwich, light stuff like that. Nothing what it is today.
Cafe con leche, the Cuban toast, those comfort foods that the people that were immigrating here, that they were looking for.
So how did you guys go from a cafe to an entire city block with 1,700 seats? Obviously, there's a lot of time in there.
Yes.
But what were the stages of expansion? Any during your career at the Columbia?
So the final addition to the Columbia and Ybor would be where our original kitchen used to be, which is now known as the Andalusia room, which is right off of the cafe. But the structure itself has always maintained. We added a new kitchen. Never mind. We did add the new kitchen. 2001, I was the first woman to work in the kitchen at the Columbia.
Oh, how cool is that?
Yeah.
In 2001. Wow, a new kitchen. So before that, how were you serving all of those people? Just in a smaller space?
It was a smaller space. Growing up, when I used to work there, when it would rain in the kitchen. The kitchen was so old. There would be pots everywhere. And the crazy thing is the kitchen was literally at the corner of 22nd and 7th Avenue. So if you were dining at 21st and 7th, they had to walk a whole city block to get their food to their table.
Oh, that's
so
hilarious.
we were in dire need of that.
Yeah, totally. And now it's where, like in the center of the restaurant?
So yeah, so it's in the center and the back, and then I call the lifeline of the restaurant that connects all the dining rooms to the kitchen.
A restaurant expansion is interesting, especially in one place. You can hear all the time about different locations, right? Restaurants opening up different locations. But you guys, you can't just close down for 6 months and renovate and open back up, right? I mean, you're kind of having to cook and serve and make drinks and then expand at the same time and hire new people. And like, how have you experienced that in your career at the Columbia?
Absolutely. It's probably the best way to describe it is when they're doing additions to the interstate. They figure out different ways that you can go, that you can still operate. So luckily, when we were building the new kitchen, our old kitchen that was in very rough shape was still operating. We've done additions where we've put new air conditions in that we create hallways that cut through dining rooms. So that way the dining rooms cut down, but you still have access to all the dining rooms. Right now we're actually looking to have an Ybor City master plan meeting where we're talking about how we're going to redevelop some areas in the back of the house, in the front of the house. Oh. So it's a living creature. We're always changing and trying to figure out how we can do things better.
If you enjoyed this clip, click here for the full episode and make sure to subscribe. Thank you guys for watching.